Hey, welcome back to Math with Patrick. Today's December 14th, and we're solving problem 348 from the Daily Epsilon calendar. And we should show why the answer is 14 for today. So we need to find the most likely result for the total of the roll of 4 standard dice. And one usual strategy when solving math problems is if you encounter a harder problem, try asking an easier one first. So instead of 4 dice, I'm curious to see what happens when we just roll 1 die or when we roll 2 dice. And in the case that we roll 1 die, we just have 6 potential options, right? The numbers 1 through 6. And so when we ask this question, what's the most likely result for the total on our 1 die, it doesn't really make sense because all 6 options are equally likely. And so for starters, if this is just where we're thinking, one thing to question is there a most likely result if we have more than 1 die? And in fact, there is. And so what we can do is test out the 2 dice scenario. And here I like to draw a 6x6 grid just so I can visualize the whole sample space of what could happen when you roll 2 dice. And I'm imagining looking across the top of this 6x6 square. And this would represent the first roll that I get. I could get 1 through 6. And then in the second roll, I could also get 1 through 6. And the result for when we add them up, well, we could just look at each cell and add up the numbers above and to the left of that cell. So we get 2 here, we get 12 here. And essentially, as we go diagonally through our box, we're going to increment our number up by 1. And so I'm not really actually doing the addition in my head. I just know that this pattern will keep working as long as I write all the same number across different diagonals in this square. And here I could actually stop because I'm noticing that 7 shows up 6 times and it's going across this long diagonal. And none of the other results are going to show up this often. Also, I just realized I put the 8 in the wrong spot. Just for completion's sake, I will fill out the rest of this 2 dice scenario. And it's really clear to see that 7 is the most common result. Now, if we did want to ask about 3 dice, I might try to draw a cube and then, well, I don't really want to do that because then instead of having 36 potential outputs in our sample space, we'd have 216, and that's too many. And in fact, just studying the 2 dice scenario is enough to know the answer for today. Because if we roll 2 dice, we know that the most common result there is going to be a 7. And if we roll another 2 dice, the most common result there is also going to be a 7. And these two are independent events because rolling 2 dice doesn't affect the outcome of another 2 different dice. And so we know that the most common scenario out of both of them is just going to be the most common scenario for, well, each individual pair. And so we know that it's most common to get a 7 on 2 dice and a 7 on the other 2. So in total, it's going to be the most common to get a 14 on 4 dice. That's about it. So something kind of interesting is what would happen if we had 3 dice or 5 dice? Because I haven't really answered that yet. Maybe that's something that you can find out on your own. But for now, we're all done. We hit the 14. We know why that's true. And we can be done for today. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.